Canada and hockey fans in the United States, Bill Hewitt and Brian McFarland here at Maple Leaf Gardens in Toronto. The puck is all around the Boston goal. Gary Cheevers covers up and holds it out. And this has been a very spirited first period of play. It started a little on the slow side, but has been building up in momentum, and it's a 1-1 tie. Marat scored for the Bruins to Morin McKenzie at 3:57 with Martin of the Bruins serving a penalty. And then Ellis from Kelly and Jeffrey at 14:21 with Westfall of the Bruins picking up a penalty for hooking at 13:43. We've had 4 penalties, 2 apiece. 53 seconds remaining in this first period. It's a 1-1 tie. And that's Johnny Busick taking the face-off with Dave Keon. That's Pitt Martin, number 7. Keon gets the puck to the side of the net. Bobby Orr, number 4, is jammed. Hits call by referee Lloyd Gilmore for a face-off in the Boston zone to the right. The linesmen are Neil Armstrong and Red Shetler. Police were claiming that was a fast whistle, but I think he was more interested in protecting the players along the boards. All set to go. Neil Armstrong, the linesman, set to drop the puck with Martin. Busick went offside. Keon gets the draw to Stanley. His shot stopped by Martin. A 3-man break for the Bruins. 1 man back. Martin closing in. He shoots. Sotchuk got it on the shoulder. Busick bumped by Horton. They all pile there. It goes loose to Keon. Keon ahead to Mahavlich. Long pass for Pappen. Pappen offside at the blue line. There's a delayed whistle, and it's called outside the line. And Brian, this is certainly not the Boston team of old.
No, this is the new-look Bruins, Bill, and they've certainly been flying out there tonight and putting on quite a show for visiting royalty. Prince Bertil of Sweden is attending the game tonight as guest of Kingsley Graham, former ambassador to Sweden, and will meet the Prince between periods.
We have 19 seconds remaining in this first period. Bobby Orr, number 4, in possession. Just gets rid of it to center ice. Stanley gets a hold of it and shoots it right back in again. Bobby Orr after it. Orr skated off by Keon. Busick ahead for Martin. 1 second remaining as Mahavlich gets back to touch it, and the first period is over. And the score at the end of the first period, the Boston Bruins won. The Toronto Maple Leafs set to start the second period now. Leafs defend the north end of my left, and the Boston Bruins in their white, gold, and black uniforms, the south end of the right. Score is tied 1-1. Boston outshot the Leafs 14-7 in the first period, giving you an idea how busy Sotchuk was. Here's a chance for Connolly, and that shot was just wide on a rebound off the board. A quick break by the Bruins. Pappen shot it to the far wing. Keon was checked. Mahavlich for Pappen behind him. Marat picks it off for the Bruins. Marat knocking it down into the Leaf zone. It was knocked with a high stick, so play is called. Marat from Morin McKenzie at 3:57 of the first period. Marat's 3rd goal of the year. Ellis got his 6th from Kelly and Jeffrey at 14:21. 4 penalties, 2 apiece.
So we saw Marat take a swipe at that puck. You know, he's an excellent baseball player in the offseason, and he almost hit that one into left field.
I think they call that the ground rule double. On the face-off, shot cut that one right on the ankle. Mahavlich shot it into the Boston zone. That's Bobby Orr, and Keon hitting the boards. Bobby Orr gets control of the puck, though. Shoots it over to Connolly, at least to Murphy. Intercepted by Pappen inside the blue line. A pass for Keon. Mahavlich knocks it wide. And Cheevers picks up the rebound as he tried to get it out in front. That's Murphy, number 28. Connolly is 17, and Schock is number 23 for the Bruins. Bobby Orr, number 4, and Joe Marat, number 10. Keon is 14 for the Leafs. Pappen, 18. Mahavlich, 27. Stanley, 26. Horton, number 7. It's a 1-1 tie. And Marat steering into the corner to Connolly. Connolly fanned on Mahavlich, took a shot, or fell in front of it. There's right in front of Mahavlich again, and he blasted one wide from point-blank range. Here comes Connolly up to center ice for Boston. Takes a long shot. Sotchuk stirred it off to the wing. Keon to Pappen. Pappen coming out now with Mahavlich. Pappen over the line, tried to go around Marat. Marat took it away from him. Then Pappen gets in front of him and holds it against the boards for a face-off. We have a final score. A game played this afternoon. New York Rangers 4 and Chicago 1. And where does that leave them in the standings, Brian?
Well, we could have a very tight race before this is over tonight, Bill, because if Boston beats the Leafs tonight, they'll be tied for second place with the Leafs. Chicago has 20 points. Toronto coming into the game tonight has 17. And if Boston wins tonight, they'll have 17, and New York now has 17.
Well, it's certainly turning out to be a real tight race. On the face-off, Ellis just tried to get through. Couldn't. Kelly passed to Jeffrey. Right in front to Ellis. He shoots. Oh, and a great save by Cheevers on a deflection as Ron Ellis was left uncovered in front of the net. And Jerry Cheevers putting on quite a performance here for the Bruins, Brian.
Cheevers has been playing very well since they brought him back into the lineup, and he's former Toronto property.
And they face off. Jeffrey tried to get set for a shot. Busick is coming back now, number 9. Over the Leaf line, a shot. I noticed in the latter part of the first period, the Bruins were taking long shots at Sawchuk. Here's Kelly. Now going down the ice for the Leafs. Over the blue line. Standard it right in front, and Green stops it. Watson gives it to Green. Green ahead to center ice to Busick. Over to Stewart on the right wing. Stewart shoots. Sawchuk stops it. Larry Jeffrey for Ron Ellis. Checked by Busick. Busick to Martin, and it's knocked to Kelly. Kelly for Ellis. Ellis off the boards for Jeffrey. Going over the line, closing in. Jeffrey turns, tried to get it back to Ellis. And it's Watson bringing it back for Boston. He hit Pitt Martin right in the ankle. Douglas and Brenneman. Brenneman over the blue line. Tried to make a play to Kelly, and it's Martin shooting it behind the net into the corner. Stewart couldn't control it. Shack is on the ice. Ted Green. Checked by Kelly. Kelly still has it. Kicked it behind the net. Brenneman couldn't get to it. Eddie Shack and Busick after it. Watson bumped by Shack. Kelly fights him for it. Douglas takes his shot. Cheevers grabs that and holds onto it. We have 16 minutes and 59 seconds remaining in the second period.
Well, Bill, speaking of Jerry Cheevers, the Bruins have lost only one hockey game since he joined the club November 9th. That was after Eddie Johnson suffered an eye injury against the Blackhawks on November the 6th. And the one loss was Wednesday night when New York Rangers eked out a 5-4 victory. And, of course, Jerry at one time was thought to be the successor to Johnny Bauer or Terry Sawchuk. But if he waits for them to retire, he might be around another 20 years still waiting.
Well, the only problem that Jerry ever had in the minors was giving away rebounds. But with two speedsters like Orr and Marat, that's ideal for them. Here's Shack. Pass to Brenneman. Brenneman tried to flip it in front. Marat got a piece of it. Brenneman poked it back again, and it's Oliver. Into the corner to Westfall, number 18. Shack bumped into Westfall. Murray Oliver, a long pass for Johnny McKenzie. He takes his shot. Sawchuk covered the short side. McKenzie the rebound. Centered it. Sawchuk stopped it. Brenneman cleared it, but not out. Orr lets one go, and that just missed the corner. Stanley shot it to Pulford. Couldn't get away. Tries it again. Pulford with Brenneman over the line. Took his shot. Cheevers deflects it off to the side. Shack. He bumped into Westfall. Now it's Martin. Up for Shack. Over the line, and it's offside. Johnny Brenneman over the blue line, and we have 15:53 remaining in the second period. This game is coming to you from Maple Leaf Gardens in Toronto. Clash with Eddie Shack. They had a few words as Mr. Shack left the ice, Brian.
Yeah, that was the reason for the uproar. Bill, I mentioned the other night we were going to show some film of Bobby Orr in his first stint in the NHL, the first shift. We'll postpone that for a few days because of the visit of Prince Bertel tonight.
Okay, Brian, and the puck is shot down into the Boston zone. It's bounces into the corner. Comes to Stamkowski. Stamkowski tried to get it to Douglas. Schock, number 23, up to Connolly. There goes his shot. Thought Schock got a piece of it. Douglas covers Schock. Armstrong gets the rebound. Armstrong pulling away from his check. Green then made sure of him by knocking him into the boards. Marcel Pronovo then breaks it up. Down with Stamkowski, who took the pass. There's the shot wide. Conacher and Douglas. Douglas the first man in. Shot it around on the glass. Armstrong getting set. There's his shot. Devers took a swing at it. Brian was mentioning about these baseball players. And down the ice comes Schock over the line for the Bruins for Murphy. Murphy centered it. Green, who was picking up his stick, kept it in. Marcel Pronovo holding it against the boards with Murphy, and there's no further play. Do you think that's a sign of spring?
It could be, Bill. Funny thing there, Green lost his stick right in front of the Boston bench, and instead of picking it up or getting a new one, he skated all the way down in front of the net and played without a stick for about 20 seconds, and then when the play moved up, he picked up the stick that he had originally dropped right in front of his own bench. There he is now at the boards. Ted Green, quite a hockey player.
I think he's explaining to his teammate over there what had happened. End of the first period at Montreal. Montreal 2, Detroit 1. Stanley to Horton. Up to Pappen. Pappen going to center ice. Takes a long shot. Cheevers knocked it off to the side. It's right near that Boston goal. Pappen centered it for Keon. Oh, and Cheevers got that one on the chest. Johnny Busick, number 9. Pitt Martin fell. Busick moves quickly up over the leaf line. Goes around Stanley. Tried to flip it in the short side. Stanley picks up the loose puck. Stanley shot it up the center. Here's Keon over for Muhammad. Right into the goal. He sees the goal!
Well, there's Cheevers. He lost his stick. Now let's watch it on the instant playback. Watch Dave Keon make a fine play with his skates here to kick it ahead to Mahavlich, and a nice deke as Cheevers sprawls way out in front of the goal crease, and it's a 2-1 hockey game, the Leafs over Boston. Keon kicking it ahead with his skates to Frank Mahavlich.
On the faceoff, Keon gets it back to Horton. To Stanley. Stanley shot it in again. Mahavlich after it. Watson brings it up for Boston.
And number 26.
To Stewart.
Time 5:51.
5:51 is the time of the goal by Mahavlich from Keon and Stanley. Here they go again. It's called, and there's going to be a penalty here to the Bruins. Pitt Martin, number 7. Shot got all the way to the Leaf bench, Brian.
Well, Martin's going for tripping, and he's explaining to the referee that his stick got caught in the Leaf player's skates. I'm sure that's his argument, but of course it serves him no stead. He's going to the penalty box. Pitt Martin, and he's been a dandy since he came over from Detroit.
2 minutes for tripping. The time 6:19.
6:19 is the official time of the tripping penalty to Martin. There's the Boston players bench. Johnny Busick right at the gate. That's the east side of Maple Leaf Gardens. The scoring plays from Montreal. Richard from Rousseau and Price at 15:01 of the first period. And prior to that, McCord had scored from Hampson and Howe at 14:15, and then Rochefort broke the tie at 16:30. Kelly with Jeffrey and Ellis, Douglas and Larry Hillman. Hillman up to Ellis, to Kelly, going in with Jeffrey. Kelly took his shot, went over top of the net. Jeffrey right in front. Ellis, he shoots. Oh, and somehow Cheevers got a piece of it. Here's Kelly in the corner. Marat trying to cover him. Kelly still with it. Falls. Or trying to cover him, and they finally hold it there. And there you see the real veteran, number 4, and the real rookie, number 4.
I was just going to say, 2 real young fellas there scrapping for the puck.
We have a face-off in the Boston zone to the right. That's Johnny McKenzie, number 19, holding it.
This is the quiet line the Leafs have on now, Bill. Jeffrey, Ellis, and Kelly. I don't think they have a noisy line unless you'd say, well, anyone Eddie Shack's on.
Now we're all set for the face-off in the Boston zone. Kelly to Jeffrey. Jeffrey right in front. Oh, and Ellis shot it wide to the open side. Douglas into the corner. Jeffrey trying to center it. He's covered by Orr. And Ellis has had about 5 chances this hockey game so far, Brian.
We might mention that the Bruins had it all over the Leafs in the first 10 or 12 minutes of this hockey game for a while. Well, they won their game the other night 8-3 over Detroit, and it looked like they were going to break out with a rash of goals here tonight, but the Leafs have been coming back very strongly, particularly in this second period.
It's Toronto Maple Leafs 2, the Boston Bruins 1, 12:54 remaining in the second period. McKenzie shot it. Hillman tried to keep it in. Douglas at center ice, a pass for Ellis. Ellis is given a shove by Eddie Westfall. Hillman feeds Ellis. Ellis over the blue line. Back to Hillman. Hillman shot it. Orr cleared it, but not out. Douglas over to Hillman. Hillman gets set. There's the shot. Not hit Westfall. And Westfall gets it down the ice. Douglas and Larry Hillman. Hillman up to Ellis. To Kelly. Going in with Jeffrey. Kelly took his shot. Went over top of the net. Jeffrey right in front to Ellis. He shoots. Oh! And somehow Cheever's got a piece of it. Here's Kelly in the corner. Marat trying to cover him. Kelly still with it. Falls. Or trying to cover him, and they finally hold it there. And there you see the real veteran, number 4, and the real rookie, number 4.
I was just going to say, 2 real young fellas there scrapping for the puck.
We have a face-off in the Boston zone to the right. That's Johnny McKenzie, number 19, holding it.
This is the quiet line the Leafs have on now, Bill. Jeffrey, Ellis, and Kelly. I don't think they have a noisy line unless you'd say, well, anyone Eddie Shack's on.
Now we're all set for the face-off in the Boston zone. Kelly to Jeffrey. Jeffrey right in front. Oh, and Ellis shot it wide to the open side. Douglas into the corner. Jeffrey trying to center it. He's covered by Orr. And Ellis has had about 5 chances this hockey game so far, Brian.
We might mention that the Bruins had it all over the Leafs in the first 10 or 12 minutes of this hockey game for a while. Well, they won their game the other night 8-3 over Detroit, and it looked like they were going to break out with a rash of goals here tonight, but the Leafs have been coming back very strongly, particularly in this second period.
It's Toronto Maple Leafs 2, the Boston Bruins 1, 12:54 remaining in the second period. McKenzie shot it. Hillman tried to keep it in. Douglas at center ice, a pass for Ellis. Ellis is given a shove by Eddie Westfall. Hillman feeds Ellis. Ellis over the blue line. Back to Hillman. Hillman shot it. Orr cleared it, but not out. Douglas over to Hillman. Hillman gets set. There's the shot. Not hit Westfall. And Westfall gets it down the ice. Pitt Martin has 40 seconds remaining in his penalty. Larry Hillman to Kent Douglas. To Larry Jeffrey. To Ron Ellis. He's in the clear. Closing right in on goal, right in front of the net. And he let it get away from him with 2 players right beside him. Douglas to Kelly. To Ron Ellis again. This shot was knocked down by Marat. Marat tried to get it out. Westfall does. Douglas back for it. Almost a one-man show there by Ron Ellis. Now then Brenneman's on the ice with Shack and Pulford as they clear it into the Boston zone. Pitt Martin, number 7, is back on the ice. Hillman covers Martin, but Martin gets it out and down the ice. Stanley back. Ahead to Brenneman. Brenneman gains momentum. Over the blue line. Takes his shot. Orr stopped it. And covers up. And certainly Bobby Orr has been doing a lot of covering up for this Boston team tonight. This game is coming to you from Maple Leaf Gardens in Toronto. On the face-off, Stanley is shot, ends up on Ron Murphy's stick, up the center. Over the blue line, it's stopped by Stanley. Stanley for Pulford is Shack, broken up. Bruins fail to get away. Murphy will try his luck. To Schock. Off Horton. Chuck let it go wide. Stanley to Brenneman. Connie Brenneman. Up for Bob Pulford. Off the boards for Shack. Shack is offside. That was from inside the blue line over the red line, Brian.
Bill, I got a question for you. Who's the unhappiest man in the world tonight?
Who is the unhappiest man in the world tonight?
King Clancy. His beloved Ottawa Rough Riders lost this afternoon. Boy, he must have suffered all afternoon.
I see him sitting over there with Bob Bond in the corner.
He claims to coach that club, you know, in his spare time.
Well, now we have a face-off inside the blue line. Leafs get it out to center ice. That's Bob Wojtowicz, number 8. For Murphy, number 28. Horton takes him out of the play. Horton went down. Stanley passed it behind the net. Murphy was there. Gets away from Shack. Centered it right to Brenneman. Brenneman down the ice for the Leafs. Over the blue line. Cuts in. Stops. Failed to center it back. Wojtowicz now on the right wing coming to center ice for Boston. Cleared it in. Stanley stepped into him. Horton for Shack. Broken up by the Bruins. Stanley back. Kept in by the Bruins again. Horton goes after it. Shot it around on the boards. Wayne Connolly, number 17, and Shack bump together. Pulford carrying it back into the corner. Tim Horton right in front of his own net. Pulford covered up. Pulford just shoots it down the ice. Watson going back for it. It's over the red line. And that is icing called against the Toronto Maple Leafs with 9 minutes and 41 seconds remaining to play in the second period. Toronto Maple Leafs 2, Boston Bruins 1.
Looking to the Leaf farm system, Mike Walton's off to another great start with the Rochester Americans. He has 8 goals and 15 assists in 12 games. I was talking to his dad last night, and he said down there they're dazzled with Walton. They say he's the fastest thing they've seen there this year and last year too.
Well, he's certainly setting a torrid pace after being out for the first part of the season. Now Pronovo to Kent Douglas, to George Armstrong, who's with Stamkowski and Brian Conacher. Conacher gets the chance, going over the blue line, fakes his shot, still has it, centered it, Stamkowski misses it. Marcel Pronovo is shot, and Conacher failed to deflect it. Goes back up the center, Douglas for Stamkowski, carrying it back into the Boston zone. Jerry Cheevers to Bobby Orr. Cleared it, stopped by Armstrong. Armstrong let his shot go, then hit a leg and comes out over the line. It's Dallas Smith out for the first time in the game, number 20 for the Bruins, playing on the defense with Orr. Bobby Orr gets it out over the line. Douglas goes back for it. And Armstrong. Armstrong to Conacher. Conacher over the line. Takes his shot. Cheevers stopped it. Conacher still fights for it. Dallas Smith clearing it ahead to Stewart. Stewart coming to center. To the Leaf line. A drop pass, and there was Stamkowski. Too far for Armstrong. Off the boards to Pitt Martin. Stopped by Armstrong and Stamkowski. Up for Conacher. Conacher racing after it. Stewart gets in front of him. Shot it to the boards. And Bobby Orr now winds up. Missed the check from Conacher. Armstrong took his shot. Stamkowski trying to center it. Conacher goes to the boards. Tries to hold it there. Finally held long enough for a faceoff. This game is coming to you from Maple Leaf Gardens in Toronto. Faceoff is in the Boston zone to the right. There's the Maple Leaf bench with the head trainer, Bobby Haggard, back of the bench. From the faceoff. Down the right side for McKenzie. Gets it to Oliver. Ahead for Westfall. Too far. Horton checked, comes back to Watson. Watson let it go, and that just missed the target. Now Havlicek cleared it, but not out. Murray Oliver has shot right in front for Westfall, and he couldn't get a direct drive. Bruins putting on the pressure. Green a shot. Ooh, that just missed the corner. Pappen gets rid of it to center ice. Green over the line for Westfall. Sawchuk is way out of the net. Stanley for Pappen, back to Stanley. He shot it into the corner. McKenzie is there, and it goes right onto Mahavlich's stick. He cut it up for Keon. Keon over for Pappen. Pappen getting set. There's the backhand, and that was wide. Martin had moved up, but Oliver gets it out off the linesman. Kenzie back to Oliver to Westfall. Over the blue line. There's his shot going up into the end blues.
Well, Bill, we have a referee tonight we haven't seen before, Lloyd Gilmore. He's spent 8 years in the Western Hockey League, and he's refereed in the American Hockey League and also the Central Hockey League. He's 35 years old, and he's done an excellent job so far in this hockey game.
He certainly has, Brian, and he's been calling it right off the beginning of the game, and he's kept the players from getting out of hand at any time. And I like the way he calls it. He doesn't make any pretenses about it. He goes right to work on them, and they, I presume the way they're playing it, respects his judgment. Ronnie Ellis, number 8, checked by Oliver. Oliver passing it to Watson. 6:40 remaining in the second period. Here's a chance for Oliver over the leaf line. Missed a check from Marcel Pronovo, but Pronovo gets it out. Green away from Jeffrey and shot it into the leaf zone. Sawchuk out of the net. Puck is behind the net, and they hold it there for a face-off with the Boston Bruins starting to put the pressure on again in the latter stages of the second period. 6:18 remaining. All set for the face-off. Bruins playing every man up. McKenzie tried to get to it. Marcel Pronovo knocked it down with a high stick, so we'll have another face-off. And Brian, I would imagine Hap Ems is very pleased with his team that he's been molding together for this season.
Well, he should be, and a lot of people don't realize that Hap spent 16 years in professional hockey as a player, including 9 as a left wing and defenseman with the old Montreal Maroons, the New York Americans, the Detroit Falcons, and the Boston Bruins. He's had a reputation as a tough player. Finished his career with 1938.
From the face-off, McKenzie back to Watson. There's a shot. Hit Douglas to Jeffrey, up to Kelly, ahead to Ellis. They're over the line, going in together. There's the shot by Ellis, and it was wide. Jeffrey covered his man. It's kept in. Here's Larry Jeffrey closing in front. Back to Kelly. There's the shot, and Cheever made the save. And down. Jeffrey was knocked down by Green. And there's going to be a penalty there to Green of Boston, Brian.
Well, Jeffrey fed the pass over to Kelly. Kelly's shot was a weak one. Jeffrey cut in front of the net looking for that rebound, and when somebody stands in front of Ted Green and has his back turned on the play, Green isn't about to let him stay there very long. So Jeffrey got the front of that one.
2 minutes for high sticking. Time 14:11.
14:11 is the time of the 2-minute penalty to Green for high sticking. Fulford, Brenneman, Shack, Armstrong, and Mahavlich. Now then, Shack is replaced. Keon, Pappen, and Mahavlich. Douglas and Hillman. So Brian Punch Imlach has been juggling around his power plays.
Well, there's Jimmy Pappen, and I feel that he plays the power play as well as anybody I've seen in this league this year. He really plays that point well. He plays the power play better than he does the wing sometimes.
Right, and from the faceoff, it goes to the boards. Held there again, and we'll have a faceoff. 5:44 remaining in the second period. Toronto Maple Leafs 2, Boston Bruins 1. The power play is Keon at center ice, Armstrong on the right wing, Mahavlich on the left, Hillman and Pappen. They're playing 6 men to 5. From the draw, picked up by the Bruins. Right up the center ice. Wojtowicz over to Westfall, over the line. A pass for Wojtowicz, covered by Hillman. Keon to Hillman. Larry Hillman takes his time. Then to Papin for Keon and Mahavlich. Mahavlich over the line, goes around Wojtowicz. Still has it back to Hillman, and he broke his stick as he let the shot go. Sawchuk had to stop the long shot, and Papin has it. Papin for Mahavlich as Papin was hit hard by Westfall. Armstrong over the line. A pass for Mahavlich. Passed it back to Hillman. Hillman keeps it in. He lifts it right to Mahavlich. It's right in front of the net. Armstrong after it. They pile after it. Mahavlich gets a hold of it, but the whistle goes. And rightly so, because the referee lost sight of it.
Well, that's the reason for the uproar in the crowd. And, of course, the referee always will blow that whistle when he loses sight of the puck in a pile-up like that.
Well, that's for protection of the players, Brian, more than anything else. It's usually when somebody gets hurt if he lets it go on too long, because they'll kick at it with their skates. The face-off is in the Boston zone to the left. From the face-off, back to Douglas, over to Papin, back to Douglas, too far. Douglas shot it off the boards and went over Keon's stick. McKenzie shot it, but not out. Papin to Douglas. His shot is caught by Cheevers. Mahavlich and Marat go to the boards. It comes back to Papin. There goes his shot, and that was wide. Douglas lets one go. Keon deflected it wide. Against the boards again, and Orr holds it this time with 4:18 remaining and 29 seconds left in Green's penalty. Brian? Well, this game is coming to you from Maple Leaf Gardens in Toronto. On the face-off, back to Douglas. Douglas for Armstrong, and it goes into the crowd.
Well, you'll note that Kent Douglas always keeps that shot low from the point. Ted Green does the same thing for Boston. I was talking to Kent just 2 days ago. He said he doesn't believe in those big spoon-shaped blades on the hockey sticks. He feels he can keep his shot nice and low, and for a defenseman particularly, he likes that straight edge on the stick.
Right, Brian, and I understand he has the heaviest stick in the National League as well. Here's a chance for Keon, right in front to Mahavlich, and he can fail to put in the rebound. Papin goes back for it. 12 seconds left in the penalty to Green. Jim Papin to center ice. Over the line with Mahavlich. Back for Mahavlich. Centered it. Cleared by Schock down the ice. Green is back on. Orr goes racing up the ice after it, and Douglas takes it. Douglas. Checked by Schock. Schock centered it. Keon off the boards for Armstrong. And Brenneman behind him. Brenneman turns. Pass to Keon. Keon at his own blue line. Up the center. Long shot is wide. Connolly to Orr. He just shoots it down the ice. That's over the red line. Stanley will touch it. And we'll have icing with 3 minutes and 9 seconds remaining to play in the second period. Toronto Maple Leafs 2, Boston Bruins 1.
Well, there's Alan Stanley, and he's playing remarkably well considering that knee injury he suffered, and he's had the knee drained, about a dozen times already this year. He may be a little slow turning around to get back, but he usually gets a piece of the opposing player as he goes by.
He certainly knows how to play the angles, Brian, and knows where to stay on the ice. He doesn't waste any space on that ice. On the face-off, Boston get the draw. It's cleared by Murphy to center ice. Stanley off the boards for Eddie Shack. Covered by Schock. Then Murphy over the blue line, closing in with Schock, and Eddie Shack picks it up. Back comes Shack. Over the blue line with Pulford. Pulford trying to center it, covered by Connolly. Connolly covered the Leaf player, and it's cleared by the Bruins down the ice. Horton going back for with 2 minutes and 37 seconds remaining to play in the second period. Horton up to center. He's stopped by Green. Green over the blue line. Waits. A pass to Connolly. Connolly centered it. There's a shot. Sawchuk got a piece of it, grabs a hold of it finally, and holds it for a faceoff. And Brian, in that first period, Terry Sawchuk was doing a lot of skating around outside the net. That's unusual for him.
Well, it is for him. I guess that back operation over the summer makes him feel like a young teenager again, the way he's gliding around out there. Interesting remark from that young lady in Vancouver. He looks so mysterious behind the mask. That's why she likes Terry. Bobby Hull got a few votes there too, didn't he?
Certainly did. 2 minutes and 22 seconds remaining to play in this second period. Back to Watson of Boston. His shot hit Pulford's stick, goes to center. Green and Shack. Knocked back to Brenneman. Brenneman to Connolly. Connolly now skating up himself. Over the line. Murphy took his shot, a long one, which was wide. Shack back to Green. Green took a drive. Murphy tried to get the backhand. Pronovo fails to get it out. Pronovo picks it up for Brenneman to Pulford. Pulford and Shack, and Pulford overskated it. Watson to Shock. Checked by Brenneman. Over the line. Brenneman to Pulford. Oh, it slides right to Teaver. He didn't even see it. And holds it out in the goal crease. Fortunately for Chambers, it didn't have too much momentum when he finally saw it coming to his pad. 1 minute and 39 seconds remaining. Toronto Maple Leafs 2, Boston 1. No change at Montreal. Montreal still leading Detroit 2-1 in a final this afternoon. Rangers 4, Chicago 1. That was the final. Played this afternoon. The face-off over again. Pitt Martin falling on the puck. Romney face-off. Kelly to Jeffrey. Jeffrey trying to center it. Kelly just failed to get it. Stewart off the boards for Martin. Martin coming down with Busick on his left. Cleared over the line, and Douglas shoots it out again, hitting Jeffrey for Kelly, who was behind him. Here are the Bruins over the line. Busick closes in with a shot. Knocked to the corner. Marcel Pronovo bumps into Busick. It comes to Martin, and he just shot it wide. Pronovo holds it against the boards, and these Boston Bruins are really coming to the Maple Leafs.
Well, that was an amazing shot by Pitt Martin. He was off balance. He took that snap wrist shot right off the corner of the goalpost, and I didn't think he could get one away that fast from the balance he had.
Oh, it was amazing, the speed of that shot, Brian, and it was right along the ice, too. Pitt Martin, number 7. You see him getting set for the face-off. Then the Leafs zone to the right. Kelly got the draw to Horton. Horton up to Jeffrey. Jeffrey at center ice. Shot it in. Ellis races after it. Lets one go. Right in the goal crease. And Ellis let it go. And instead of cutting in front, looking for a rebound, he went away from it.
And you heard the oohs and ahs from the crowd on that one. You see an empty goal with the puck a foot out in front of that line right in the center, and you wonder who's going to get there first.
Right, I think that's the first lesson you receive. Go after the rebound. Can't score from behind the net. Romney face-off. It's Martin over the blue line, up the center. Takes a long shot. Sawchuk missed it, but got the rebound off the boards. 47 seconds remaining. Kelly fails to get it out. Busick keeps it in. Falls. Horton bumped into him. Kelly off the boards to center ice, and Marat has it. Marat to Stewart. Stewart took a long shot wide. Stanley being watched by Martin. Stanley holds it there for a face-off with 23 seconds left. Marat from Orr and McKenzie at 3:57 of the first period is third of the year. Ellis from Kelly and Jeffrey at 14:21. And in the second period, Mahavlich is 7th from Keon and Stanley at 5:51. Ellis got his 6th goal of the year. End of the second period at Montreal. Montreal 2, Detroit 1. Stanley found the draw. Cleared it down to the Boston line. And that is offside. From inside the blue line over the checkered line, the Leaf player touching it first. 15 seconds remaining in the second period. We've had a total of 6 penalties in this hockey game so far. 4 of them to the Bruins and 2 to the Maple Leafs. Stanley gets a well-deserved rest. Kelly facing off against Pitt Martin. On the face-off, Ellis tipped it out to center. Marat knocked it back. Busick shot it into the corner. It goes behind the net. Sawchuk to Horton. Horton around on the boards. Stopped. Horton will try it again. And there goes the bell, and the second period is over. The score at the end of the second period, Toronto Maple Leafs 2, Boston Bruins 1. And in a moment, the Maple Leafs are just coming out on the ice now for the start of the final period. The Boston Bruins are already out, have been for about the last 6 or 7 seconds. It's 2-1 for the Toronto Maple Leafs, who outshot the Boston Bruins in the second period, 16-7. So we're outshot by the Bruins in the first period, 14-7. Quite a reversal, Brian.
Yes, it was, Bill. And during the intermission, I didn't think I'd ever see Jean Beliveau riding a camel.
No.
I know Imlach would walk a mile for a Beliveau, but I'm not sure about this camel riding bit, how it fits into Toe Blake's plans. Of course, all these hockey players have interests of that kind. Bobby Hull and his prize cattle, Larry Jeffries thinking of raising standard bred, so does Jean-Guy Talbot of Montreal, and they have...
Happen with the racehorse.
That's right, he'll be a trainer.
All right, we're all set to start the final period now. Ron Schock at center ice, number 23. Wayne Connolly, 17. Ron Murphy is 28 over there in the left wing. Gil Murat and Bobby Orr. Keon, Mahavlich, Papin, Stanley, and Horton. Intercepted by Schock over the blue line. Schock centered it. Horton stops it. Horton for Keon, broken up by Orr, who moved up very quickly. Orr is in the corner. He's hit by Stanley and knocked down. Keon to Papin. Stopped by Murphy. Bruins have every man up. There's that score! Bobby Orr deflected it into the net.
Well, the Bruins strike very quickly now, leading off the third period. You can see Orr go down with Stanley in the corner. Bruins are able to hold it in. Now here's the shot. It deflects in off Orr or Stanley, but Orr will get credit for the goal. And how this young fella is moving up in the scoring race for a rookie defenseman. He's up in the top 20 at least. And there he is with goal number 6 of the year. He has 6 assists for 12 points.
That seems to be a play that they're performing, because Orr immediately moved up onto the forward line and on that play and moved into the corner to try and get the puck. And as a result, he was in position to deflect it into the net. Run the face-off back to Marcel Pronovost. The score is tied 2-2.
4-4. Assist number 28, Murphy. The time, 22 seconds.
22 seconds was the time as Orr flips one. Marcel Pronovost knocked it down. Marat takes a long shot. Sawchuk stopped it. Jeffrey behind the net. He stopped. Came out in front. Marcel Pronovost fails to get it out. Martin took a shot. Jeffrey can't get it out. The Bruins keep it in. It's finally shot out to center ice by Boston. Marat hands it to Ellis. Over the line, closing in to Kelly. Shoots! Oh, he blasted it wide. Stewart to Orr. Hit by Jeffrey. Jeffrey went down. It's up to Pitt Martin at center. To the Leaf line. Pronovost stopped it and held it there for a face-off with Stewart right beside him, and also Martin.
Bill, it's interesting to note that Orr and Marat have the goals for Boston tonight, and we mentioned once before their combined ages don't equal that of Alan Stanley. But Orr, it's nothing unusual for him to score goals. He had 38 goals and 56 assists for 94 points, and third place in the OHA scoring race last year as a 17-year-old.
And as an 18-year-old here in his first season in the National Hockey League, he's got 6 already. Ellis along the boards, still has it, knocked it loose. Jeffrey goes after it. Watson cleared it to the corner. Kelly is there. Deflects off Green to Stewart. Up for Busick. Over the blue line. Busick covered by Douglas, who gets it out. Martin checked by Kelly, didn't see it. Green to the leaf line. Shot it to the wing and over, and it's Jeffrey to Douglas. Up for Kelly, broken up by Green. Douglas moved up, cleared in offside, and we have 17 minutes and 55 seconds remaining to play in the game.
One thing, speaking of Bobby Orr's junior hockey background, Bill, one thing I could never understand is how he missed winning the Most Valuable Player award last year. They gave it to Andre Lacroix of Peterborough. Mind you, he's a fine young hockey prospect too, but Orr was seemingly head and shoulders above anybody else in that league.
Well, he's proving it now, coming into the National Hockey League the way he's come. Here's a pass for Eddie Shack that goes into the Boston zone. It touched the stick, so play will go right on. McKenzie's covered by Brenneman. They fall together, and there's been a lot of falling on that ice tonight, Brian.
I just thought of another hockey player with an interest in horses. There's Johnny McKenzie, the rodeo rider.
Fulford, Shack, and Brenneman. Martin and Stanley playing up. Score is tied 2-2. Eddie Westfall taking the face-off with Fulford. Green behind the Boston goal. Clears it up for Westfall. Westfall at center, shooting it into the leaf zone. McKenzie goes after it. Brenneman had him covered. Johnny Brenneman. Long pass for Eddie Shack. Over the blue line. Cuts around behind the net. It's off balance. Back for Oliver. Over the line. Westfall was hit by Horton. Fulford to Stanley. Alan Stanley. A pass intercepted by Murray Oliver and shot it off the boards to Westfall, who clears it back into the lead zone. Horton goes back for it. Johnny McKenzie left it in there for Murray Oliver coming from the side. Westfall couldn't get his pass. Stanley up to Shack with Brenneman. Brenneman is offside.
That was one of those hairline decisions. A beautiful lob pass by Eddie Shack, but just that fraction of an inch offside.
16 minutes and 41 seconds remaining to play. Score is tied 2-2. Maple Leaf players bench. Stemkowski with Conacher and Armstrong. A long shot. Jerry Cheevers made the save and came out and gave it to Orr. Bobby Orr, number 4. Watched by Stemkowski to Joe Murat, up to Ron Schock. Conacher tried to cover him. Schock fell. Handed to Conacher. Conacher failed to get away. Douglas for Conacher, who deflects it off the glass into the corner. Connolly nearly sent it in front of his own net. Douglas off the board. Stemkowski centered it. Conacher took a shot, and it was wide. Connolly, a pass to Orr. Orr up at center. Over the blue line. Still has it. A pass and a shot. Stopped by Sawchuk off the stick of Murphy. Schock centered it. Marcel Pronovo gets it. Up to center ice. To Conacher. Over the line. Conacher closing in. There's the shot. That just missed. Right in front of the net to Douglas' shot. That's it wide. Here's right to score. Stemkowski got the rebound.
Well, they banged away at it long enough. Conacher and Stemkowski had good opportunities. They try to get it free in front. Now Stemkowski does. Douglas misses the shot. Stemkowski brings it in front, pokes it home for the goal. I don't know how Douglas missed it.
Well, it just seemed to hit something at the last second, and that's one time you really have to hesitate. I think Brian Conacher was instrumental in all that checking.
Scored by number 12, Stemkowski. Assist, number 22, Conacher, and number 19, Douglas. The time, 4:24.
4:24, Stemkowski by Conacher and Douglas. Cheevers stopped a hot one that time. Here it's back for Schock. At center, over the line, checked. Now Keon with Mahavlich go back. Over the line, Keon, this failed to drag it through with his skate. Schock, checked by Keon, but it goes over to Murphy. He takes his shot, that's wide. Stanley. Off the boards for Mahavlich to Keon. Keon didn't know he had it. Gil Murat. A long shot. Not touched it off to the side. Mahavlich off the board. Shot hit by Stanley. Mike Mahavlich to Dave Keon. Up for Mahavlich to Jim Pappen. Over the blue line. Pappen trying to get around Murat. He does. There's the shot. He missed the corner. Mahavlich to Keon. Back to Mahavlich. Mahavlich's shot was stopped by Orr. Bobby Orr now gains momentum. To Wayne Connolly at center. To the leaf line with shot. Back to shot. There's the shot, and it's wide. Kelly, Pappen, and Mahavlich. Kelly took the pass, but Mahavlich was offside at the blue line. This game is coming to you from Maple Leaf Gardens in Toronto. 14 minutes and 7 seconds remaining. Toronto Maple Leafs 3, the Boston Bruins 2. And for Peter Stamkowski, that was his first goal of the season. Ed Green, stopped by Kelly. Here's Jeffrey, right in front. He scores! Larry Jeffrey stole the puck.
Well, when opportunity knocks, you got to take advantage of it, and Jeffrey did just that right here. Watch him now as he moves in to steal the puck. Kelly makes the initial stop. There it is, and he bangs it home by a startled Jerry Cheevers. Larry Jeffrey.
Goal number 3, Brian, for Larry Jeffrey.
15, Jeffrey. Assist number 4, Kelly. The time 6:01.
6:01 is the time of a scoring play. Jeffrey from Kelly. Larry Jeffrey dumped into the boards. Ron Ellis fails to get out. Douglas follows up. Ahead to Jeffrey, who's in full flight over the line with Ellis. Jeffrey centered it. Kelly just missed it. Stewart checked by Jeffrey. Yusik checked by Kelly. Kelly is partially dumped by Watson, but he didn't fall, so there's no penalty. Ellis falls behind the net, centered it. Jeffrey took a shot at it. Oh, and it just rolled by the open corner. Yusik comes back with Stewart. Over the line. Marcel Konovo golfs it high, and it ends up in the first row of the box seats, Brian.
Oh, boy. The crowd is really enjoying this one, and poor Jerry Cheevers is having some hectic moments in that goal crease as that puck has been bouncing all around there, and this quiet line has been the one that has sparked the Leafs. And notice how often it is that Red Kelly will make a move that sets up a goal. There were 2 occasions tonight where he initiated the Leaf goals against Boston.
That's right, Brian. He tipped Green's stick as he tried to come out, and then right onto Jeffrey's stick, and he made no mistake. Horton, a pass to Pulford. Brenneman is loose on the left side. It's shot down the ice by the Leafs, though, and Orr will touch it nicely. .55 remaining in this final period. Toronto Maple Leafs 4, the Boston Bruins 2. No change from Montreal. Montreal still leading Detroit in the final period at Montreal, 2-1. New York Rangers defeated Chicago 4-1. Here's Johnny McKenzie, a shot wide of the Leaf goal. Murray Oliver, 16, gets it back to Bobby Orr. There's the drive, and that was just off the target. Jack to Brenneman at center. Covered by Orr, gets over the line, stops, tried to center it. Johnny McKenzie covers up. Around on the boards for Oliver. Cleared out to the blue line by Sanderson. Horton tried to flip it around. Instead, he shot it into the crowd. 12 minutes and 26 seconds remaining to play in the hockey game. Pulford is 20, Brenneman 24, Shack 23, Oliver 16, McKenzie's 19, Derek Sanderson, number 26 over there on the left side. That's Joe Murat, number 10, and Bobby Orr, number 4. Murray Oliver to Sanderson, broken up by Shack, but it went into the crowd. Have another face-off. Referee is Lloyd Gilmore, number 15. Neil Armstrong and Red Shetler are the two linesmen. Neil Armstrong, number 8, and Red Shetler, number 21. Romney face-off back to Stanley. Stanley off the boards for Pulford, and he was checked, and it goes back into the Leaf zone. Stanley after it. McKenzie gets there first, then Pulford tries to help out for the Leafs. Oliver centering it. Eddie Shack intercepts. Coming up, play is called, and there's going to be a penalty here. McKenzie and possibly Stanley. McKenzie definitely coming to the penalty box. It looks like he was the aggressor, so he's the only one. And that'll give the Leafs an odd man advantage, playing 6 men to 5. Now Stanley turned the other way, but then when the referee came back, Brian, he said, "No, Sam."
He thought he'd forgotten him.
Boston penalty to number 19, McKenzie. 2 minutes for high sticking. Toronto penalty to number 26, Stanley. 2 minutes for high sticking. The time, 8:03.
8:03 is the time of the high-sticking penalties, and it occurred right in front of the Maple Leaf net and right in front of the referee. Teams are playing 5 aside. Armstrong for Conacher behind him, picks it up off the boards. Conacher to the Boston line. Shock skated him off. Gary Cheevers to Orr, who shot it around on the boards. Horton at the blue line traps it. His shot stopped by Orr. Orr checked by Hillman, and it's Conacher taking his shot wide. Cheevers got out of the way of the rebound off the board. Bill Marat. Over to Shock. Back to Marat. Stopped by Horton. Horton ahead to Conacher. One man back. Conacher over the line. He forgot the puck. Bobby Orr covered by Armstrong. It goes to the boards. Conacher and Orr fight for it. Orr decides to hold it, then gets away from Conacher to Marat. Into the corner to Connolly, who's knocked down by Conacher. Orr cleared it to Marat. Connolly's loose on this right side, and Conacher got a piece of it. Hellman over to Armstrong. In over the blue line. Took his shot. Cheevers caught it. Leaving it for Connolly. Connolly starts up. The teams are playing 5 aside. 36 seconds remaining in the penalties to McKenzie and to Stanley. Conacher for Keon. Keon, watched by Green, gets away from him, and Marat just checked him at the last second. Now it's Connolly turning for Boston. Up at center. Over the blue line. Trying to go around Douglas and Hillman, and it's Douglas picking it off. Douglas. Up for Keon, too far. Going down and over the red line. And that is icing. This game is coming to you from Maple Leaf Gardens in Toronto. Toronto Maple Leafs 4, Boston 2, 9:56 remaining in the game. On the face-off. Marcel Pronovo, number 3. A pass to Mahavlich. Mahavlich can't get out. Then Keon does. Only to be checked by Busick. Marcel Pronovo's pass to Jim Pappen. The teams are at full strength. Pappen to Douglas. Up to Keon. Keon just lifts one in, and Cheevers stops it to Green. Green coming out now himself. Gaining momentum to center ice. Checked by Mahavlich. Mahavlich races after it. Knocked back to Green. Green ahead to Martin over the blue line. Martin, a pass for Busick. Back to Watson, a shot. That's wide. Martin with it. Back to Green, outside. Came outside the blue line. And Green brought it back in again, tapping his teammates.
Harry Sinden was saying before the game, facetiously, Bill, that he thought perhaps he shouldn't dress Bobby Orr tonight because he'd read somewhere that Punch Imlach had said that perhaps the Bruins were rushing this youngster into the NHL a little too soon. So perhaps I shouldn't suit him up, but he certainly played a standout game for Boston tonight.
He certainly has, Brian, no question about that. I'm very impressed with the way he's carrying the puck. Ellis ahead to Kelly, going in to the corner, centered it back, and it was Pitt Martin with it to Stewart. Back to Martin. Up at center. To the leaf line. A drop pass to Stewart. A weak shot. Tucker just saw it the last second. Martin trying to get it in front of the goal again, and Stanley covers up to Kelly. Kelly, Stanley, and Ellis. Ellis over the line. Back to Kelly. A shot. It just missed the corner. Oliver to Busick at center. Over the blue line. Stopped by Stanley and shot down the ice. Orr back for it. Orr to Westfall. Broken up by Ellis. Ellis turns at center. Over the line. Shot it into the corner, and it's Bobby Orr back for it. Up to Eddie Westfall. Stopped by Kelly. Kelly then was checked. Orr coming at center. Over the blue line. Trying to cut in. Goes to the corner. Ran into Stanley. Kelly. And it hit Orr. And Stanley may have been hurt. This game is coming to you from Maple Leaf Gardens in Toronto.
Stanley got a good burst of applause as he skated off, and you know, Bobby Orr got the traditional greeting from Gordie Howe the other night. He got rammed into the boards and everything. He greets all the newcomers at least once.
Glad to see you in the league. Romney face-off. The puck is back out to center ice. Renneman and Orr fight for it, with Orr covering the Leaf player. It's knocked to Pulford, to Douglas, back to Pulford, and he couldn't get past the Boston defense. Tommy Williams out there for the first time in the game. He was given a tremendous jolt by Eddie Shack. Renneman clearing it down the ice. Marat, bumped by Shack. Back up the ice for Oliver, stopped by Marcel Pronovo. Pronovo for Brenneman, who ran into a referee. Pulford carries on. There's his shot wide. Orr covered by Pulford, but Orr comes up with it. Shack tried to check him. Orr carries on over the blue line to center. A long shot. Tatchuk stopped it, and Douglas the rebound. That's cleared it down the ice. Orr is there again. Bobby Orr to Johnny McKenzie, stopped by Marcel Pronovo, just gets rid of it to center ice. Bobby Orr for Joe Marat. He and Shack bump together. Marat trying to massage Shack just for good luck. Pulford missed a check from McKenzie, and Renneman checked him. Pulford back to Marcel Pronovo. For Eddie Shack is over the line, going right in on goal. He shoots. Oh, he's got it right in the corner. For it. Orr to Westfall, broken up by Ellis. Ellis turns at center. Over the line, shot it into the corner, and it's Bobby Orr back for it. Up to Eddie Westfall, stopped by Kelly. Kelly then was checked. Orr coming at center. Over the blue line, trying to cut in. Goes to the corner. Ran into Stanley. Kelly. And it hit Orr. And Stanley may have been hurt. This game is coming to you from Maple Leaf Gardens in Toronto.
Get Molson Pleasure Pack. 12 Canadian Lager Beer. 12 Export Ale. Both in Molson Pleasure Pack. Save money, too.
Well, Stanley got a good burst of applause as he skated off, and you know, Bobby Orr got the traditional greeting from Gordie Howe the other night. He got rammed into the boards and everything. He greets all the newcomers at least once.
Glad to see you in the league. Romney face-off. The puck is back out to center ice. Renneman and Orr fight for it, with Orr covering the Leaf player. It's knocked to Pulford, to Douglas, back to Pulford, and he couldn't get past the Boston defense. Tommy Williams out there for the first time in the game. He was given a tremendous jolt by Eddie Shack. Renneman clearing it down the ice. Marat, bumped by Shack. Back up the ice for Oliver, stopped by Marcel Pronovo. Pronovo for Brenneman, who ran into the referee. Pulford carries on. There's his shot wide. Orr covered by Pulford, but Orr comes up with it. Jack tried to check him. Orr carries on over the blue line to center. A long shot. Sawchuk stopped it, and Douglas the rebound. Has cleared it down the ice. Orr is there again. Bobby Orr to Johnny McKenzie, stopped by Marcel Pronovo, just gets rid of it to center ice. Bobby Orr for Gilles Marat. He and Shack bump together. Marat trying to massage Shack just for good luck. Pulford missed a check from McKenzie, and Brenneman checked him. Pulford back to Marcel Pronovo. For Eddie Shack, he's over the line, going right in on goal, he shoots! Oh, he's got it right in the corner. Back for the Bruins, Shack fell, gets up again. Play is called, and that was a dazzling rush by Eddie Shack.
There goes Tommy Williams off the ice. Bill, you mentioned this was his first shift, and the reason for that is that he's recuperating from torn knee ligaments, and as yet this season he's only taken, half a dozen, 7 or 8 shifts at the most with the Boston club. He has no points yet, but he's a speedster, and when he's healthy, he'll be something to reckon with.
Faceoff is in the Boston zone to the right. Find the faceoff. Stemkowski is shot, and Jerry Cheevers covers up outside the goal crease. He also got a glove on the face for good measure, as his teammates were trying to push Stemkowski away. 6:08 remaining in the game. Toronto Maple Leafs 4, Boston 2. Jerry Cheevers. Time they face off. Knocked by Conacher behind the net. Green bringing it out at his own blue line to center. Shot it right to Stanley. Stanley flips it up for Stemkowski. Offside over the red line from inside the blue line. 5:53 remaining.
You know, they kid Stemkowski. They play these Polish jokes on him, and he takes it all in good spirits in the dressing room, Bill. And he played one on himself the other day. He says, "What does it say on the bottom of a pop bottle? Give up? Please open at the other end."
Time they face off, it's offside. Outside the blue line and in again. This Joe Watson is certainly a tower of strength on the Boston defense, Brian. He's been very steady out there. He doesn't rush much. He isn't that spectacular, but he's very steady.
He's one of Harry Sinden's boys from Oklahoma City.
On the face-off, Conacher after Schock. Schock gets it over the line, but it's offside again. 5:45 remaining in this hockey game. Toronto 4, Boston 2.
Oh, he has such a good group of youngsters on that Boston roster. He could almost move Bohr anywhere up on the forward line if he wanted to.
That's for sure. Armstrong against the boards with Watson. Armstrong comes up with it. Conacher is loose on the left side. Armstrong right in front of the net. He shoots. Oh, he hit the goal post. Conacher took a whack at it. Cheevers stopped it. Came out of the net. Still has it. Shot it around on the boards. Horton from the blue line lets one go. Armstrong trying to center it. Gets it back to Horton. Comes the shot. Conacher trying to get the rebound. He's knocked down. Back up the ice for Murphy. Over the line with Schock. Schock shoots. Oh, and a great save by Terry Sawchuk with his left hand, Brian.
Well, I think we said it at the start of the season that his reflexes haven't gone. Certainly that back operation helped, but he did have a fabulous pair of hands throughout his hockey career, and he's still got those quick moves.
5:06 remaining in this hockey game. Busick, Martin, and Stewart. Marat and Orr. Keon, Mahavlich, Papin, Pronovo, and Douglas. A shot by Keon right on Sawchuk. Pronovo for Keon. He was hit by Busick, but Papin brings it out. Covered by Martin, who checked him. Keon followed through. It's back to Papin. Over to Mahavlich, over the line. Centered it. It's too far for Papin. Papin right in front again. Keon to Mahavlich to shoot. Oh, and he shot wide from point-blank range. Stewart, a long pass for Busick, knocked off the boards by Douglas to Mahavlich. Marat got a piece of him. Pappen let one go, and that's wide. Stewart, away from Keon. Stopped by Mahavlich. Mahavlich hit by Orr. Busick coming back for the Bruins. At center, up over the blue line. A drop pass to Stewart. The shot. Sawchuk got a piece of it. Pappen goes to the boards. 4 minutes and 5 seconds remaining in the game. And this game is coming to you from Maple Leaf Gardens in Toronto. No further score from Montreal, and we presume late in the final period, it's Montreal leading Detroit 2-1. Rangers defeated Chicago this afternoon 4-1. Toronto 4, Boston 2. Play resumes here. Murata shot right on. Sawchuk stopped it. Horton picks it up. Ahead to Ellis. Ellis is checked, then goes to the boards and holds it there for a faceoff. 3 minutes and 53 seconds left.
Bill, this is reminiscent of the game the other night against Chicago where the Leafs got off to a slow start. Looked like Chicago was going to run them out of the rink. Then they came on in the second and third periods after Mahavlich's penalty shot and really dominated play the rest of the way.
That's right, Brian, because the Bruins outshot the Leafs in the first period 14-7. That'll give you an idea what Brian means by the Bruins just about chasing the Leafs out. Here's a chance for Kelly. Just went off the stick. Westfall over the blue line. A pass deflects to Oliver, a shot, and Sawchuk stopped it. Jeffrey clearing it down the ice. Over the red line. It bounces out in front to Marat. Icing is called against the Toronto Maple Leafs. That means we have 3 minutes and 29 seconds left.
And the boys after the game will be talking about the goals they missed tonight. Ron Ellis has missed 3 real good chances. Mahavlich has missed a couple. Let's see. Jeffrey, who else? One or two
Johnny
more.
McKenzie had a great chance, and Eddie Westfall was in front of the net.
And Eddie Shack.
That's right. They've all had their chances tonight. Larry Jeffrey knocked it behind the goal. Number 15 up for Ellis, intercepted by Oliver, who's given a bump, and Ronnie Ellis comes up with it. Ellis back to Horton. Up to Jeffrey, went by him to Bobby Orr. Orr takes a long shot. That's wide. Sawchuk scooping it to Jeffrey. Around to Ron Ellis. Marat broke it up, centered it in front. Here's a shot, and that's just off the target. Sawchuk couldn't get the rebound. Horton covers his check. Ellis falls. Westfall centers it. Oliver shoots it. Sawchuk stopped that. Stanley grabbed it with his glove, directed it to the side, but he didn't put his hand right over it. Otherwise, it would have been a penalty.
Well, that's right, and the referee was right there. If he had palmed it and held it, it would have meant 2 minutes for Stanley. And the way these Bruins have come on in the last few seconds, the Leafs could ill afford a penalty at this point.
There's still 2 minutes and 48 seconds left. And, Brian, I think this is where youth comes in handy. They got the staying power. Promenade face-off. It's into the corner. Oliver to Kenzie. Back to Oliver. And he handed it right to Brenneman as the Boston player Westfall was out of position. Brenneman centered it for Shack. Holford moves up. He missed it. Here's Bobby Orr going down the left wing to center. Over the line. Tried to go through the defense. Westfall follows up with a shot, and that's wide. Oliver. Back by Marcel Tronovo. And he's going to hold it there for a face-off with 2 minutes and 15 seconds left in the game. Toronto 4, Boston 2. Marat and Ellis in the first period were the goal scorers. Marat getting his third, Ellis his sixth. Mahavlich got his seventh in the second period. Orr got number 6 in this final period. Stamkowski is first, and Larry Jeffrey his third. His coming at 6:01.
I might add, Bill, that out of the 42 goals the Leafs have scored this year, the quiet line has accounted for 13 of them.
Which is certainly very productive. And they're not doing too badly tonight either, with Jeffrey and Ellis scoring. Rodney face-off. Off the boards. Brenneman fails to get out. Bruins still have it. And hits Shack. Eddie Shack gets out over the blue line. A pass to Pulford. Over the blue line, offside. Shack was just in advance of the puck carrier.
Well, there's Eddie Shack going to the bench, and he was having his troubles. He started to work out on the stationary bicycle in the Leaf dressing room, going 5 and 10 miles a day the last few days, and it paid off the other night with 2 goals, and he's been flying tonight and almost had one there a few minutes ago.
I think Jerry Cheevers thought a cyclone had just gone by. The puck is up at center ice. Derek Sanderson tried to shove it ahead to Wayne Connolly. Sanderson gets the puck into the Leaf zone. Tim Horton. A long pass intended for Stamkowski. Broken up by Stewart. Stewart back to Green to Stewart. To Sanderson. Ahead for Murphy. A backhand goes into the corner. Run up. It's cleared by Armstrong down the ice, and going back for it is Green. It didn't go over the red line. It's cleared back up the center ice to Connolly to Sanderson. Over the blue line, a back pass. It's loose there. Here's going right in. Murphy shoots. He hit the side of the net. It's still behind the net. Bruins trying to get it out in front. It goes to the corner. Comes back to Sanderson, a shot. Oh, and a great save by Sawchuk. It's all around that Leaf goal. They're trying to get a direct shot, and Stamkowski comes out. Pass ahead for Armstrong. Armstrong after it. Trying to center it. Stamkowski goes after it. Checked by Green. Gives it to Murphy, back to Green. Stamkowski falls. 37 seconds left. Back up for Murphy, over the line, stopped by Pappen and cleared out to center ice. Pitt Martin shot it over the line. Ronneau gets out over the blue line, a pass to Keon, going in with Pappen, or bumps into Keon. Conacher let his shot go, and Cheevers has got it in his pads and holds onto it for a faceoff. 14 seconds left in the game. Toronto Maple Leafs 4, Boston 2. Faceoff is in the Boston zone to the right. Number 11, Tommy Williams, out again. Pitt Martin, Johnny Busick, Orr, and Marat. And from the faceoff, Mahavlich shot it behind the net. Bobby Orr picks it up and shoots it down the ice. With 11 seconds remaining, Marcel Pronovo goes back to touch it. He does. 7 seconds now, 6 remaining in the hockey game. So they'll face off in the Boston zone to the right again. 6 seconds left. 4-2 for the Maple Leafs. Orr, Stamkowski, and Jeffrey scoring in that order in this final period. Jeffrey scoring at 6:01. On the face-off, right to Cheevers, to Bobby Orr. Bobby Orr again shoots it down the ice. Going right on the net as the bell goes, and the game is over. And the final score of tonight's game.